She's not back yet? You mind if we take a look in her bedroom?
Has she ever disappeared before?
She's didn't leave without me. She does not text me when I text her.
What does she normally take with her when she leaves?
Go back. Her phone.
Her phone's not in here.
Not that I found.
You can talk to that mom around. Aren't you here last night? Or I mean, the night before, anything, any reason she would leave?
No.
Because the rumor going around, people telling us that she was afraid to come home.
This is the moment Andy McCauley realized police were on his trail. Just hours earlier, his girlfriend's daughter, Riley Crossman, suddenly went radio silent and police were quickly called to come and investigate. At first glance, it looked just like a messy teenager's bedroom with nothing out of the ordinary. But as the officers scoured through the clutter, unsettling details began to emerge.
Got tea and a Gatorade bottle on the counter and stuff, bro. What's going on?
They would find items that a teenager might typically take if they were planning to run away, but as they begin to look even more, they start to notice blood.
What?
Blood was on her sheet, and more was found on her comforter. The cops were now certain that foul play had occurred, and something terrible happened to Riley. As they try to piece together the puzzle, police find themselves entangled in one man's web of deceptions and twisted lies, all crafted to conceal his one single disturbing secret. On May 2019, dispatchers received a call from a concerned woman reporting the disappearance of her 15-year-old daughter, Riley Crossman. As officers arrive at the scene, they come into contact with the caller, Chantel Oakley,
nice
and
car.
her boyfriend, Andy McCauley.
What's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a long time.
It's been a while.
Any word? You mind if we take a look in her bedroom?
Has she ever disappeared before?
She's didn't leave without me. She does not text me when I
This
text
is
her.
2019.
This is the only mirror we have
May
like
9th.
this, so I came in yesterday morning, and I don't remember that being there. And especially her glasses, because this is not exactly the way it was. I've been in here digging and looking to see if there was a note or anything like that.
According to Riley's mother, this was unlike her, and she wasn't one to run off without telling anyone. A quick search of her room revealed that her belongings were untouched, except her bed, which was covered in bloodstains. This was highly suspicious, so officers quickly took a sample and sent it off for DNA testing. But for now, officers need to gather as much information as possible from people who last saw Riley, so they decide to question Andy about his whereabouts that day.
You can talk to that mom around. Aren't you here last night? Or I mean, the night before, anything, any reason she would leave?
No.
Because the rumor going around, people telling us that she was afraid to come home. I don't know if that's, I mean, you know how people go sometimes, but
No, there's nothing like that.
okay. So,
She wouldn't have to be here. I mean, they're
Right.
they ain't like that. They never like that.
this is nothing.
Her
Yeah,
mom wasn't even home.
right.
She's at work.
No, you. They said that she got an argument
No,
with you
no,
and
no, no,
didn't want to come home.
No. She was her grandma. She was here doing dishes and everything. Her grandma was here till 7:30.
Okay.
Debbie.
Right.
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw her?
Like 9, maybe 10ish.
Her grandma was there till 7:30 or 7, whatever. And then last time you saw her was 9, 10ish. Cool. Bro, there's 2-3 hours where it's just you and her in the house, bro. There's like, and the mom's not home because she's working. So either you know where she went, you know what she was doing, or am I just reaching, bro? We gotta get into it.
And we'll contact you with that.
Oh, she was here in the house. She went to bed probably. Well, I don't know what time she went to bed, but she was. All the kids were in the room by like 9:30.
Did she leave in the morning?
No, I left I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Left 5.
Okay.
Go to work.
According to family and friends,
Alright, this is gonna edit out. I ain't worried about this. They won't even see it. The honest won't even see this.
Andy was never an early riser. In fact, when police interviewed one of his colleagues, Johnny, he stated that he had to go to his house and repeatedly call him to wake him up. But on this particular day, things were different.
I'll call him and see if he's up.
So that morning, do you remember if you called him or he called you?
Wednesday morning. I to say he called.
But this was not the only strange thing about Andy that day. He also told police that he was at work all day, and when cops interviewed another one of his colleagues to verify his alibi, they found out that Andy had left work and was gone for nearly 5 hours.
And he gets back in roughly, it's probably 2:45.
So he was going a while. Four, almost 5 hours.
Because of this, detectives now know that Andy hasn't been completely honest with them so far, at least about staying at work the full day. This is very clearly a red flag and means that he's trying to hide something from them. But Andy might not be the only one hiding something, as officers would find out when they decide to look into Riley's boyfriend, Hayden. For the last 8 months, the two reportedly FaceTimed every night, so officers believed that if anyone was in contact with Riley the night before, it would be Hayden, and he was soon called in for an interview 2 days after Riley went missing.
Can you just tell us when you were last FaceTiming?
I was actually talking to her about the DC trip, what was going on,
And do you know exactly what time?
10:30-ish.
On the night of Riley's disappearance, it just so happened that Hayden deleted all his messages with Riley because he did not want his mother seeing them. This is why detectives could tell that Hayden knows something, but because of his mother's defensiveness, he's unable to speak his mind.
I told him before not to delete his messages, but he isn't having deleting everything.
What do you know what her mom's lifestyle? Or what their relationship?
I don't really know much about mom.
I feel like she just isn't a responsible person. She'll just let her do whatever she wants. They had a dance, and she was wearing this short dress. She let her walk to the school by herself in this short dress. It's at night. Riley had way too much freedom.
Although this interview was not too fruitful, it pushed Hayden to come forward with a crucial piece of evidence afterwards. A series of disturbing text messages that Riley sent to him the night before she disappeared, saying that Andy was in her room and that she was scared. Immediately, all suspicion was further confirmed around Andy, and officers would
That's why you can't just bring people into your house, bro. Like, you can't just bring motherfuckers in your house because you dating them and stuff, bro. You gotta get to know them, bro. You gotta let your... Bro, you can't just bring people into your house, bro. You can't. I don't
use
care
this
how long it's
information to
been.
piece together this dark puzzle.
Don't just bring them
But for
around,
now,
bro.
finding
Do
out
not just bring
Andy's
people in
actual
your house.
whereabouts and
Trust
what
me, do
really
not just bring
happened
people in
during
your
the
house.
5 hours that Riley was missing is crucial to the investigation, and the reason why Andy would be called in for questioning.
I just talked to Johnny, right? Saw him leave. Okay. Would you be surprised if he told me something completely different?
Maybe.
Do you not remember leaving that job site going to Red Hill?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We did go to. It did. I'm sorry. We did. You're right.
Okay.
Correct. We did go to. It did a show.
How long were you there at Red Hill?
Like the rest of the day.
Okay.
The rest of the day.
Okay. Were you at that house the entire time fixing the shelves?
No.
Okay. Where were you at?
I was at the other house.
Okay.
I went and got some, I went and got some more drugs.
If Andy was off doing illegal drugs during those 5 missing hours, then that could possibly explain why he didn't initially tell the cops the truth about where he had been all day. But this also could just be his way of trying to distract the police by bringing their attention to something else. At this point, detectives know that Andy is desperate to give them an alternate alibi, and his drug story could possibly be true. So to cross-check, they would call in Johnny again. Johnny had a history of drug use, and the two would often do cocaine together, so he can easily substantiate or discredit Andy's account.
Would you say that there was enough to still do another line each?
Oh yeah.
Couple lines each?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you wouldn't have to. You didn't need any more coke.
No.
So now, Andy's story about going to get more drugs isn't adding up. His colleague had already told the cops that they had more than enough cocaine to get them through the rest of the day, so there would be no reason for them to go get more drugs. Realizing that Andy has been lying, the police decide it's time to confront him and get to the bottom of his deception.
What if I told you that I knew you weren't messing up, and you didn't buy drugs off anybody that day? See what I'm getting at? We went from this story to this story, now we're gonna get a third story. This is one of these times you really need to think of what you're telling me, okay? Because you're not being honest. Remember when I told you about being honest and I'm not gonna just throw shit at you? I know you weren't there. I know you didn't buy drugs off your cousin, and I know you didn't use them in that parking lot that day. Where did you go when you left?
Went to my house to get the drugs.
Okay.
I already had them in my house.
Okay.
I already told you to tell. I still want to tell you I had them in my house.
So you go back home, you use your drugs, and then you go back to work, and then what?
Considering the discrepancies in each version of the story he tells officers, there is more than enough reason for officers to not trust Andy like they would express.
I'm just telling you the whole part about you being honest.
I'm being honest with you. I've been honest with you. I told you shit that I didn't even want to tell you.
You're being somewhat honest. I mean, we're doing some pulling to get some information about some drug activity, which is us. I don't even give two shits about. But yet we're having trouble pulling that out of you.
Because I was worried about the people named out there.
Okay, and I told you I don't care about that.
I didn't say that.
You told us about the drug activity, what, 2 nights ago?
I did.
Did I arrest you for it?
You named or anything.
The main reason for detectives pressuring Andy like this is because a record of his movements is crucial for this investigation. Usually law enforcement can just track a suspect's movements using their phone, but in Andy's case, he had supposedly left it at home the day that Riley went missing. Knowing that the more leniency detectives show to Andy, the bolder he would become in giving shady alibis, detectives decide to ramp up the intensity of the conversation, even more to make Andy nervous and slip up about his real whereabouts.
The further along this is, whatever happens, and whoever did this to her, the worse off it gets for that person too.
Yes, hope so.
She was probably taken out of that house by somebody.
Yeah, I feel something that she was taken to that one. I feel because she'd be on by now. She wouldn't leave her mom.
She was taken from that house, is what I'm saying. She didn't wander off. She didn't pack a bag and take her clothes, take her glasses, take a cell phone charger, take all her money. She had most of her money. Someone's gonna go.
Her money was still in the book bag.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, if someone's gonna run away or do something, they're gonna make a little bit better effort. Even for a 15-year-old.
I agree.
For a 15-year-old kid,
Nice,
they're gonna at least
leave
have
everything she
necessities.
needs. You can't go out there
Even
with no
after explicitly
necessities, no
stating the
jacket, no
absurdity
bag,
of the situation,
no money,
that
no
Andy
nothing.
seems
Come on,
as
bro.
cold
This
as
shit
ever,
ain't even
and
adding
won't
up.
crack about where he really was. But even in this situation, detectives have one piece of evidence that would cause the pressure to mount on Andy: the texts that Hayden had showed them. Once confronted with these, Andy's behavior changes immediately.
What if I told you her last text to her boyfriend were saying, don't talk, because she still has the FaceTime on? Andy's in here. I'm afraid.
That's what it said.
What if I told you that?
Honestly, that's crazy.
I can put my hand on the Bible and tell you I saw those texts today.
Well, I like to see him because I know probably he is scared of me. I know she was.
Not only that, she said you were in here, and she was in her bedroom because the FaceTime was still on.
I was never in her room.
That's not what she's saying.
I don't go in her room.
Andy, I'm not lying to you.
I was not in her room, for one. And for two, the kid's not scared of her. There's no reason for her to be scared of me. I've been there in her life for 1.5 years. Taking care of her, giving her things she needs.
He's only known her for 1.5 years, and he's allowed to be left in the house with her, bro, alone. Now, I don't know how y'all are raised, bro. No man that you do not know, you do not know somebody entirely after 1.5 years. I don't care about nothing, bro. You can know somebody their whole life and don't know anything about them. Now, if you leave a man that you don't truly know, and this is sad that you can't do this. Not saying that, oh, it's because he's a man or anything like that, but it's sad that you can't do this. But the truth of reality is that there's people that are like this, so you can't do it. You can't leave. I'm sorry to say, but you cannot leave your daughter in the house with a man like this. Because it sucks. I know it sucks. You might love the person or whatever, but this is what happens. After 1.5 years, you think you know a person and you don't. You cannot just leave your kids with anybody, bro. Anybody at all. You cannot just get out here and trust everybody because, I don't know, because you just feel like you can. You can't. You don't know anybody's true intentions. Yeah, I gotta watch out for shit like this because this is crazy, bro. Look, a girl might have lost her life or whatever. Well, we're seeing the video, so most likely she did, or hopefully she's just hidden somewhere. God willing, but I mean, most likely, bro, but this is exactly what you get. You can't trust nobody, bro.
Like, I get that.
And it sucks that that's the truth, but it is the truth. There's nothing you can do about it.
To her, he's afraid of something.
The walls are closing in on Andy quickly, and he's no longer able to keep up with his lies. He can't think of any possible reason why Riley would be afraid of him, or any explanation for why she would have sent her boyfriend those texts.
And another thing is, she sent her boyfriend the text like, yo, he's in here, I'm scared. if she's scared of you, bro, it's because you've done something to make her scared. If she's not just scared of you just to be scared of you. You've done something to make her fear you, bro. Because you should not be fearing nobody unless you have a reason to. Especially somebody that's been in your life for a year and done everything for you, supposedly. You would not fear them just because. You would fear them because they gave you a reason to fear them. Really think about it, bro.
Like, that's your mother. The mother will tell you that it's not true. There's no
I'm telling you,
She just
I
makes
read
my
that with
skin
my own
crawl,
eyes.
bro.
Okay.
I don't know. I know.
So you see where that puts us.
Yeah, I understand, but the kid's not scared of me. I don't understand how you guys can say that.
Despite the
'Cause you
damning
saw the
physical
text, bro.
evidence, Andy
You saw it.
continues to insist that there was no reason that Riley would have been afraid of him. Perhaps he thinks that if he denies this enough times, the cops will simply move on.
That she's not. That's your
Well,
grandmother. That's your mother.
that's what she is saying.
She's saying that's why we're saying that. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors when, you know, you and Chantel are there, or Chantel and Riley are there, or we don't know. Okay? But obviously in her mind, she's afraid of you. Would you agree it doesn't make sense? It doesn't make sense at all. So does she have any reason to say that?
No.
Why would she say that?
Oh, no.
At this point, the cops have given Andy an opportunity to come up with any sort of explanation at all, or even a lie. This would have been his chance to point towards something that may have happened in the past, even as simple as a disagreement between the two of them, as a possible reason Riley would have written these things. But Andy is not taking the bait.
Is she vindictful towards you? Does she hate you?
No. She don't hate me. She loves me.
That's what I'm asking you. I don't know that. Does she argue with you?
No, ever. We have
She never cuss at you, curse you out, nothing.
Never, nothing. In a year and a half, nothing.
Okay, so it sounds like to me she does love you so heartedly.
Yes.
Okay, so why would she say that?
I don't know. In a year and a half, we have not had one conflict.
Okay.
Me and the boy, yeah, we have.
Okay, but there's never been anything, like you said, a year and a half, or the last several weeks, several months, several days, nothing that's you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one time she wanted this, and I told her no, maybe she got mad, and she's nothing.
With all else failing, Andy would attempt to try and convince the cops that he shares the same sentiments as them.
But you see where that puts us, right?
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you guys are. I'm not mad that you guys are doing your job.
I mean, that's the last message he has from her.
I'm not that you guys are doing your job. I think you do your job, but there's nothing I can think of.
You want us to do our job. That's what we're doing.
I'm asking you to do your job. I'm not mad. You guys don't know. Guys, I think he's a little pissed off, but nothing. There's nothing that I can think of. She would be mad at me for, or she would be upset with me, or scared of me, or anything would be.
You didn't go in that room?
No.
She still had FaceTime one too.
Okay, well, I wasn't in that room.
The cops lacked probable cause at this time to arrest Andy, but there is one piece of evidence that is about to change the course of this entire investigation. It was around this time that the lab results on that blood sample would finally return, and it would be an exact match to Andy's DNA. But that's not all. They also learned that the blood they tested was also mixed with saliva. This made the cops suspect that Riley's face may have been forced into the pillow in an attempt to keep her from screaming. This is an important development, but they still haven't located Riley, and they need to find more information about where Andy was during those 5 missing hours. Luckily though, all of that can be answered in the CCTV footage that captured all of Andy's movements. There were cameras attached to a nearby high school that captured Andy McCauley leaving his work site. That was the starting point of the investigation for the cops. They knew the direction of his travel, including the fact that he was on Route 9. An eyewitness who knew what Andy's vehicle looked like was able to confirm that she saw his truck backed up into the driveway of Riley's home in the middle of the day when he should have been at work. At this point, the cops believe that Andy killed Riley during the late night or early morning hours, likely to keep her from screaming while he assaulted her. They believe he then hid her body in the bedroom until everyone left, and then later returned to the house when it was empty to pick up her body and dispose of it. Using CCTV footage to guide them, and with the help of police canines trained to pick up Riley's scent, they search a nearby mountainous area. It is there that they tragically find Riley's decomposing body left in a secluded area. While this is the outcome that nobody wanted, it marks the turning point in the case. Near where Riley's body is found, there are several unique-looking screws discovered. These are the same screws that were located when the cops had searched Andy's vehicle the day previously. This is even further evidence that solidified the case against him, and 8 days after the discovery of Riley's body, Andy is arrested and charged with her murder. He pleaded not guilty.
Not guilty.
In the trial, Andy's defense argued that the prosecution failed to provide a clear motive or definitive cause of death, as the exact cause could not be determined due to the body's decomposition. Despite this, the jury found significant evidence linking Macaulay to the crime, such as the presence of drywall mud on Crossman's body, which matched the drywall found in Macaulay's truck, and inconsistencies in Macaulay's statements about his whereabouts on the day of Crossman's disappearance. The jury deliberated for about 4 hours over the course of 2 days and decided that the monster who murdered Riley was none other than Andy Macaulay.
We, the members of the pettit jury,
Give them the justice
as to
that
the
they need.
issues joined, find the defendant, Andrew J. Macaulay Jr., as follows. Count 1, murder. Guilty of murder in the first degree.
Finally, justice for Riley had been served. The only thing left was for Andy to be sentenced. The judge presiding over the case sealed his fate by giving him 2 life sentences. He will never see the light of day as a free man ever again, and most importantly, he will never be able to hurt another innocent child.
This is just a perfect example, bro, of... It's just a perfect example, bro. It's just a perfect example, bro. What I'm gonna tell y'all, bro. Can't trust nobody, bro. Don't. It's a sad world that we live in, bro. And I wish I was live on Twitch. Like, I just wanted to talk to and just see people to talk to. I can go on, follow my Twitch and just go see what's up with that. Cause I do go live every once in a while, but this goes to show, bro. Like, you can't trust people, bro. And it's sad that you can't, cause it's just the world that we live in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's sick people like this, bro. You gotta watch out for them. On that note, we gonna end up this video with a reaction. It's a good reaction with you guys. Yeah. We're gonna say, God bless Riley's soul. I'm glad they caught him. Yeah, that's just sick, bro. But we're gonna get out here. We're gonna end it with, until we end our videos from now, we're gonna say, keep walking with Jesus. Keep Jesus in your life. Put God first. And we out of here.